Hey you guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am going to share 6 tips to help you if you don't know where to start when trying to improve your health when it comes to what you eat. And while your health is more than just what you eat, food does play a major role in your overall health and wellness, and a lot of people struggle with it. So that is what I'm going to talk about in today's video. I've got lots to say, so I am just going to go ahead and dive right in. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Marissa. I'm a pharmacist and integrative nutrition health coach, and I'm happy to have you here. I created this channel and my brand of Simply Health with Marissa because my patients were asking me the questions that I have in the title of this video. How do I get healthy? Where do I start? What should I eat? And I realized after getting these questions multiple times that simply everybody just wants to be healthy, to feel good in their body, and that's how my brand was born. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then I would absolutely love for you to do so, and that way you know when I post a new video here on YouTube. Before I share my 6 tips, I want to say that this video or any other content that I create is never meant to judge you in any way, make you feel guilt or shame for what you may or may not be eating. I ultimately just want to help you guys feel more empowered to take charge of your health and change the direction that it's going in if you aren't happy with where you are currently. So let's start talking about some helpful and actionable tips that you can implement today to start improving your health. So, number 1, first thing. Realize that food has a huge impact on our health and that we as a society like to overcomplicate things. There's a lot of conflicting information out there as to what you should or should not be eating. And what I want you to realize is that there is a lot of money that is spent to subtly push you in the direction of a company's products. If you turn on your TV, for example, the majority of advertisements that you see include those for fast food, highly processed foods, diet plans, medications, and supplements. I mention this because I want you to realize that this is all connected, and some of the medications that you see, not all, but some, and the diet plans that you see, you would most likely use them because of consuming foods shown in those previous commercials. There's a lot of psychology that goes into all of this, and there are food scientists out there, whose job is to make sure that their company's food tastes good, lasts way longer than it was ever meant to, and be addictive, meaning that you crave it all the time and always go back for more. Tip number 2 is to change the way you think about the 3 macronutrients, which are carbs, fats, and proteins. Now, we need all 3 of them for proper and healthy bodily functions. The diet plans out there either restrict one of the macronutrients or restrict your total daily calories. Now, if you were to go on a restrictive diet, it may work short term, but the problem is that it's not sustainable. A lot of people, when they are done with the diet, can gain the weight back, or they may even gain more weight than they originally started out with. Another harmful thing about restrictive diets is that they may cause some body image disorders like binge eating disorder and anorexia. And if you severely restrict how many calories that you're eating in a day, your body may even try to protect itself by going into what's called starvation mode, where your metabolism slows down so that your body won't expend as many calories throughout the day. So instead of trying to restrict what and how much you're eating, start thinking about the quality of the food that you're consuming. The majority of your diet should consist of natural foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, quality protein, whether that be animal-based or plant-based, whichever you prefer. And then when it comes to processed foods, the best thing you can do is to start looking at ingredient labels. So a couple of questions you can ask yourself when you are looking at a processed food product include, does it have a lot of hidden sugars? Does it have artificial sweeteners? Does it contain excessive amounts of salt? Does it have artificial food colorings? Does it have, chemical ingredients that you just can't pronounce? If the answer is yes to these questions, then you may want to consider finding a different brand of that food product that doesn't have those ingredients. Now, it isn't realistic to think that you are going to be able to avoid all processed foods all of the time, and I'm not telling you that you need to. They are and will continue to be a part of our everyday lives, but the key is to instead opt for ones that are on the healthier side. It may not be the healthiest thing out there, but that's okay. Just do the best you can with what you have in front of you, and when you do this, you start focusing on nourishing your body with nutrients, what it needs to function at its very best, rather than restricting and saying, well, no, I just can't have this or I just can't have that. The restriction mindset doesn't work for a lot of people, including myself, because when you say no to eating something, then usually that's all you end up thinking about and wanting. Tip number 3 is to learn to listen to your body. Only you know you best. Your body is really, really smart, and it's going to tell you what it needs or doesn't want. If you've been eating out every day for the past 5 days, like pizza and french fries, burgers, soda, fried chicken, your body may tell you, on the 6th night, like, whoa, I can't eat again like this tonight. I need to eat something healthier. Another thing, observe how you digest different foods. How do you feel 30 minutes or an hour or even 2 hours after eating? Another thing to learn is how to listen to your body's hunger cues. So if you are hungry, then that means that your body needs nutrients. So go ahead and eat. And when you're starting to feel full, then stop. Now, if you are struggling with overeating, then a couple of things that you can try to help with this include 1, eat until you're about 80% full, then wait 20 minutes. And if you still feel hungry after that, then you can go back and eat more. 2, fill up your plate by the stove or on the counter instead of putting all of the food on the table. That way you'll have to get up and make the effort to get a second helping versus it just being right in front of you where you can mindlessly keep eating. And a third tip is make sure not to skip meals and have snacks on you throughout the day so that you're not overly hungry at your next meal. Now, this all may sound easy, but I know that it can be really hard to change. Learning to listen to your body is a process. Plus, what you need to feel good and healthy today, it may be different a year from now. We all go through different seasons of life where we need different things in order to thrive. So don't be too hard on yourself. And also, habits are just really hard to change, especially if there's an emotional component tied to it. It can take weeks to months to break old habits, so give yourself some grace. Tip number 4 is to cook and prepare the majority of your meals. So if you are somebody that doesn't like to cook or doesn't feel like you have enough time to cook, then don't worry, this doesn't need to be elaborate. But cooking is a good thing to start doing when you are looking to improve your health. It gives you an appreciation for the food that you eat. You have so much more control as to what you're actually eating. And as an added bonus, it's going to save you so much money in the long run. Tip number 5 is not to rely on willpower alone, especially in the beginning when you're just starting out trying to improve your health, because it takes time to change behaviors and your taste buds. So if you have food or snacks in the house that are really tempting you, then get rid of them. You know what they like to say, out of sight, out of mind. Your taste buds change every 2 weeks. Now, this doesn't mean that food will just magically taste different in 2 weeks' time, but over time, foods may taste differently to you. If you do not like to eat vegetables, for example, keep trying to introduce them into your diet. Try different ones, try different ways of cooking them, try different spices. Over time, you may actually start liking the taste of them and start craving them. And if you are addicted to sweets and sugar and you're having trouble with that, then try to replace the added white sugar in your baked goods with natural forms of sugar, like local honey, maple syrup, the real stuff, or even just have a piece of fruit. You will still satisfy that sweet tooth of yours, and these forms of carbohydrates offer more nutritional value than the white sugar does. Now, I thought it would be fun to share a couple of personal examples when it comes to this tip. So for me, I used to hate onions. If I saw them, I would pick them out. I just didn't like them. Now, this may come as a surprise to those of you who have watched my recipe videos because I use onions all the time when I'm cooking now. And I only started, slowly incorporating them into my dishes a little here and a little there when I learned about their health benefits. And over time, I actually really started to like them. I think that they bring tremendous flavor to whatever it is that I'm cooking. But it was a total 180 for me. And then another good example for me, I used to eat a lot of candy and sugary foods, candy bars, cookies, muffins, cakes, that sort of thing. And when I started eating them, I had trouble stopping. So like willpower was like right out the window. And then one day on the way home, I was listening to the radio and I heard them talking about a new study that had came out at the time that showed with mice that sugar was more addictive than cocaine. And I was just like, whoa, that's crazy. So what I did to stop craving it all the time was each time I wanted something sweet, I would eat something that had like a natural form of sugar. So again, honey, maple syrup, fruit, that sort of stuff. And I tried to do that the majority of the time. Obviously, I wasn't perfect by any means just because sugar is everywhere, like in ice cream, yogurt, condiments, like ketchup, stuff like that. But I tried my best and I did that to still give my body what it wanted, but also to get my body to understand what real food with natural sugars tasted like. I would also have something with like a good quality fat in it. I found that to be really helpful as well. So like walnuts, peanut butter, seeds, that sort of thing. And I did that for months and months. And I remember when like Halloween rolled around the following year and there was some candy in the house, I tried some and it tasted so different to me. I thought it tasted awfully sweet. It tasted like a fake kind of sweet, if that makes sense. And I felt like a weird burning sensation in my throat when I swallowed it because it was so sweet. So ultimately at the time, I was just really surprised by this realization because I used to love eating that stuff, but I haven't since then and I don't miss it. Now, if you were about to say like, Marissa, what about eating all foods, even processed ones, in moderation? In most cases, moderation is key, and I agree. But like I mentioned earlier in this video, highly processed foods can be addicting. And if you're used to eating them like all the time, then until you understand your body, your hunger cues, allow time for your taste buds to change, etc., it is really hard to only eat those foods in moderation, like having like one cookie or like half a candy bar. It might be a losing battle for you. So that's why I said earlier, don't keep unhealthy food in the house. It's unlikely that you'll feel emotionally strong all of the time and be able to resist the temptation to eat all of that food. And if you don't have it in the house, then it's a lot easier to instead reach for something else that's healthier, that won't set you back when you're trying so hard to keep moving forward. And lastly, tip number 6 is do not try to be perfect. Eating disorders can be born this way, and that's not what we want, right? You're trying so hard to improve your health. We don't want to in turn cause a different problem. So if you are doing really good and you're making healthier choices, and then, you go out and eat some fast food or something highly processed, don't feel bad about yourself, okay? It's not worth it. Life is short, and remember that what you do on a daily basis impacts your health way more than what you do every once in a while. So do the best that you can with what you have in front of you. Choosing something that is healthier, even if it's not the healthiest food product, it will still help you improve your health. And over time, you'll start to see how your progress in this area will transform your health and quality of life. Alrighty, you guys, so that concludes this video. I hope that you found these 6 tips helpful. If you are struggling with any one of them in particular, then please let me know which one down below in the comment section. That way I know what information to continue to talk about that will help you. If you found this video to be helpful, then please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. Feel free to share this video with anyone who you think might benefit from it, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you know when I post a new video. I'm also on Instagram at Simply Health with Marissa, so you can follow me on there if you'd like for daily updates and wellness tips. But otherwise, that's all I have for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!